Hello guys, welcome back to Fall into Tech. I'm Sheriff Fall if you're new here, and today we are starting a brand new series where we are going to build AI-powered bank chatbot using Amazon Lex. So by the end of this series, hopefully you will have a chatbot that can basically greet customers and understand natural banking question, check balances if needed, transfer money if needed, and also we will be connecting our AWS Lambda for a real, backend operation. So this is perfect if you are studying for AWS certification, learning cloud, or just curious about, conversational AI, how it works. So basically, we are going to build our first chatbot. But before we build a chatbot, we want to understand exactly what is a chatbot actually does, We want to know what it is. So a chatbot is basically a software that communicates with users using text or voice. We have it in our phone, and instead of clicking through menus, users simply talk in a natural language, and then the chatbot will understand what they need and provide all the information. So for example, we have them when we go to the bank. We have a banking virtual assistants, we have customer support bot, and we have restaurant ordering bots, appointment scheduler, and AI help desk. And in the last couple of years, probably a year and a half too, we have been seeing a lot of AI calling our phone or sending us emails, stuff like that. So basically, businesses love chatbot because they provide instant answer, 24/7 support when they need it. And also they reduce the wait in terms of timing, right? And that's exactly what we are going to build in this series. Now let's go ahead and then jump into our AWS console and then start the project. But it's important to know exactly what we're going to use, which is going to be Amazon Lex. And Amazon Lex is like a AWS service for building conversational AI application. It uses like the same natural languages technology behind Amazon Alexa. A lot of people know Alexa. I do have Alexa in my office right here. And Lex doesn't just like match word. It tries to understand exactly meaning. For example, user may say, what is my balance? Check my account, show my account balance, check my account number, give account, stuff like that, all the information. But in a different sentences, like same meanings, basically. So Lex groups them together and trigger the same action. Basically, you're going to program or you're going to build this Lex with different languages that, when the Lex hear one of those answer or one of those questions, it will kind of put together answer for you. So basically our job here in this project is to teach, Lex how people naturally speak. And based on those information, Lex will be able to understand exactly what we need from that chatbot, Now it's time to go ahead and jump right into our AWS console and start building this project. So this one is project 1, okay? Let's get it. Okay, so now that we are here in our AWS console, what we want to do, we want to go ahead and type here Amazon Lex. As you can see, I already have it here. But if you're someone new or someone who never used Amazon Lex, you probably will need to type here Amazon Lex. As you can see, if you type here Amazon Lex, you should see it right here and click on it. And as you click on it, now one important thing is you want to make sure that your URL, which is right here, have the Lex v2. That's the version that we are going to use for this project. So now to create your first bot is very simple. What you want to do next is you're going to go ahead and click create bot. And then here, you want to choose where it said create a blank bot. Okay. And then now the next step is you want to give your bot a name. For example, mine, I will name it as FitBank, which is Fall into Tech Bank bot right here. Okay. So now when you're done with the name, you can go ahead and give it a description. For example, my description can be, let me see the description that I'm gonna put here. And the description will be, let me paste it here. This bank bot will help customers check their balance and transfer funds. Okay, so this is the description that we need to do. It is optional, but you can add it, And now in terms of the IAM permission, let's just leave it as create a role with basic Amazon Lex permission. Okay, we don't have to change it. We can use it. You can leave it as it is. Okay, so this permission basically it explains that if we need all the AWS services, this IAM permission role right here will handle that. So AWS will automatically create basic role for us, and that's all we need for now. So we don't need to change it because in the future we will need to use Lambda, and to be able to have access to Lambda, this IAM permission right here will able to let us do that. Okay, so now you don't have to change it. You can leave it as it is. Okay, so now when you come to here, you can leave it as disable bot error logging and Children Online Privacy Protection Act COPPA, you can leave it as no. So this basically, it is a law that protects children under 13. So since this is a banking bot, we want to select no because we don't want children under 13 to be, using this chatbot. So we're gonna leave it as no. Now, when you come to the idle session timeout, you can leave it as 5 minutes. So basically, this explains that a session is in one conversation. If the user stop talking for 5 minutes, let's end the session. So the default is perfect as 5 minutes. Now, when you're chatting and then you stay 5 minutes without answering or without typing anything, basically the chatbot will end the conversation that you guys having. That's why we leave it as 5 minutes right here. Okay. Now, the next is to click on next and give the time. And as you can see, we have here. So now we want to add a language to our bot. For me, I'm going to leave it as English, speak French. If you speak French, you can change it. If you speak Spanish, you can change it. If you speak Italiano, you can, change it. I speak English, I'm going to leave it as it is. So now here as a description, it is optional, but you can add a description if you want to. So now when it comes to voice interaction, you can change it up. If you click on here, it will give you different voice. For example, let's try Gregory.
Hello, my name is Gregory. Let me know how I can assist you.
Now, that's Gregory right here. If you try Kendra.
Hello, my name is Kendra. Let me know how I can assist you.
All right. If you want to try another one, Kimberly.
Hello, my name is Kimberly. Let me know how I can assist you.
All right. You can choose any voice that you like to. This project, I'm going to go ahead and stay with Gregory.
Hello, my name is Gregory. Let me know how I can assist you.
And now here, you can change, for example, the name if you want to, change another name. For example, mine, let me go ahead and change it to Mara and see what it say.
Hello, my name is Mara. Let me know how I can assist you.
Exactly. So you can change it however you want, but I'm going to leave mine as Mara. And then here, we are going to leave it as 0.4 in terms of the intent classification confidence score threshold. We can leave it as 0.4. So this number exactly tell Lex how confident it must be before choosing an intent. Okay, so 40% is really great. As you can see, 0.40 is like 40% is really good. Okay, so now let's go ahead and create our first bot right here. So now the next step is you can choose done. There you go. As you can see here, we have created our first chatbot right here. So successful create bot Fall into Tech Bank, which is FIT Bank bot right here. Okay, so now the second step that we want here is to create our first intent. And now before you create your first intent, it is important to understand exactly what is intent. So an intent it represents exactly what users want to do. For example, as you the one creating this bot, what do you want this bot to do? For example, our bot, we will check the balance in our bank, we will transfer money, we will make payment, and we will speak to support if we need to. And those are the intent that we want to do, right? So now from here, what we want to do, the first step is to rename the intent that we have here. So as you can see, the intent name is new intent. Okay, so now we want to change that, and then you can change the name to whatever you want. So mine, I'm gonna go ahead and name it let's see, welcome intent, and then there is no space between them, and you can choose any name. And as you can see, I have renamed it, so welcome intent 2026. Okay, so that's the one that we need. Now we want to add a description here. So our description will be, this is gonna be our description right here. The description will be, welcome a user when they say hello. Okay, so basically when you say hello, they will welcome you. So that's exactly the description of this intent. Okay, so now that we done with giving the intent a name and then add a description, the next step is we want to move all the way down where it says simple. Okay, so basically utterance is like this type of word or fancy or phrases that you can sentence that you can, whenever you say it, it will generate a response. So now we're gonna go ahead and click where it says plain text right here. So you click on that, and then you're gonna add this different, you can add whatever you want, but for this project, so mine will be hi, hello, hey, I need help, can you help me, good morning, greetings. And then when you're done adding that plain text, you want to go ahead and click where it says preview. There you go. So as you can see, this is the preview that we have right here. Now this basically train our chatbot, which is Lex, the different way users may say things. For example, the more natural example you add, the smarter your bot becomes. For example, if you say, hey, it will respond. If you say hello, it will respond. If you say, hey, it will respond. If you say, I need help, it will respond. If you say, can you help me? It will definitely respond. And then if you say good morning, it will respond. And then if you say greetings, it will respond. Okay. And if you want to add more also, you can go ahead and then add more. So your choice, you can add whatever you want. But for this project, I'm going to go ahead and then stay with this one that I have here. Okay. Now that when we're done with that, you want to move all the way down where it say closing responses, closing response. So basically here, what we're going to do is we're going to define the response that we want to receive. And to do that, you want to go ahead and click on message right here. And then this is where you're going to add your message. Now here, this is the response message that we're going to receive. Hey, let me change this to Mara. Okay, Mara. So it will say, hey, I'm Mara, the banking bot. How can I help you today? So this is basically what we want to give them as a response right here. So now whenever you send a message and then say, hey or hello, it's going to respond a hey, or I am Mara, the banking bot. How can I help you today? Now, as we see, this is what we have. And then we can leave it as it is right here. You don't have to put another either variation or anything. So now the next step is, let me see, make sure that we got everything. Everything looks good. Okay, now the next step is to create to save this intent right here. As you can see, this is where you're gonna go and then click on save intent. And then as you can see, it is already saved, right? And when you're done with the save intent, you're gonna go ahead and then click on build. And then it's gonna build our first chatbot right here. And then the build will take up to 30 seconds. It depends on, whatever, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Just be mindful of that. So now our next step is to click on build. And as you can see, it is building right now our first chatbot. All right. As you can see, we have successfully built our first chatbot right here, Fall into Tech bank bot right here. So now what we want to do next is we want to test our chatbot. And to test the chatbot, you want to go ahead and click on test right here. As you can see, this is the chatbot we have. Let me move myself right here. Sorry. All right. So now let's go ahead and test our chatbot and then see if we say hi, what's going to be the response. And we say hi, enter, and then there you go. As you can see, say, hey, I'm Mara, the banking bot. How can I help you today? And then now let's see if we add this way, and then it will respond again. Let's see if we add hello, it will respond because we did add those, right? So we had hello, hi, hey, help me. And then let's see if we add help me, it will respond because it was part of the utterances that we added, right? Let's go ahead and then see if you add something different that it was not part of it. Let's say we add bonjour, because this bonjour was not part of it. So if we add it now, it shouldn't be coming up. It should come with something different. And click enter. There you go. As you can see, it will fail because we did not add bonjour part of what we trained the bot to understand or to comprehend, right? So now, as you can see here, it showed that intent fallback intent is fulfilled, right? Fulfill whatever. So now that we have this, will bring our next step right here. Now the next step will be we want to go ahead and then customize our fallback intent right here. So whenever there is an error, it will not come as intent fallback is fulfilled. Okay. Now we want to train the bot to respond with something different. And before we do that, let's try and then see if you can use your microphone, your voice, see if it's gonna work. Okay, let me try and see. Hello.
Hi, I'm Mara, the banking bot. How can I help you today?
As you can see, it is working, right? Help me.
Hi, I'm Mara, the banking bot. How can I help you today?
So as you guys can see, it works perfect. If you use your voice, it works. If you use typing, it works also. Okay. So now let's go ahead and customize our, intent fallback intent. Let's go ahead. So basically, the fallback intent is your chatbot safety net. It activates like when Lex doesn't really understand the user. And if it doesn't understand it, you have to show them something like, for example, instead of saying intent fallback intent is fulfilled, we have to train the chatbot to bring something or to come up with something different. And then now to do that, you want to go ahead and click here where it says fallback intent right here. And when you're done with that, you want to go all the way down where it says closing response. As you can see here, it says closing response. And then you want to click on response message right here. Let's see, or message group right here. I think it's this one right here, the message instead of response group. Now the message that we want to add here is would be, sorry, I'm having trouble understanding. Can you describe what you would like me to do in few words? Okay, so that's the message that we want to add here, and let's add it here. See, okay, so now instead of when it failed, instead of saying, intent fallback intent is fulfilled, it will say now, sorry, I'm having trouble understanding. Can you describe what would you like me to do in a few words? Okay, and then now instead of adding only one, we can go ahead and then add other variation. And to do that, you can go ahead and click on more variation right here. See, maybe add variation. Hold on. Okay, now let's go add them here. Okay, now the second one that we want to add will be right here. Could you try rephrasing that? I can help you check your balance or transfer funds. That's the second option that we have. Now let's go ahead and add another option also. And the another option that we have will be, sorry, I didn't quite get that. Are you trying to check your balance or transfer money? Because you want to stay on in terms of banking conversation. Okay, that's what we want to do. So basically, adding this variation is just like make the bot feel more natural. Users won't see the same message every time. So it can say, sorry, I'm having trouble understanding you. Can you describe what you would like me to do in few words? Or it can say, could you try rephrasing that? I can help you checking your balance or transfer funds. Or it can say, sorry, I didn't quite get that. Are you trying to check your balance or transfer money? So those are the different setup that we have here. And then now when we're done with that, we want to go ahead and click on save intent right here, and we want to go all the way up. Let me close this. We want to go all the way up and then click on build and let it build again. As you can see, it is building right now. As you can see, it is done. It says successfully built Fall into Tech Bank bot. Okay, so now we're done. Let's go ahead and test what we just built. Okay, so now you want to go ahead and click on test again, and then now here, let's say hello, and you say, hey, I'm Mara, the banking bot. How can I help you today? If you say hi, it will respond. If you say, let's say, greetings, it should respond also. There you go, I'm Mara, and then let's say that you say something different. For example, let's say we have here, comment tu vas, because we did not train the bot to understand comment tu vas. Now it should fail. But instead of bringing fallback intent, it should bring last messages that we have provided for the bot to understand, to use. Okay, so now let's see if we put comment tu vas, what he's gonna say. There you go. He says, sorry, I didn't quite get that. Are you trying to check your balance or transfer money? So basically, it is staying around banking conversational phrases that we have, and then let's say we use something else. Let's use ciao. Same thing. You see, as you can see, it bring, could you try rephrasing that? I can help you check your balance or transfer funds. Now, let's use something different that we didn't train the bot to understand, and it will definitely bring another message. So let's use this audio. Come stai? Molto bene?
Sorry, I didn't quite get that. Are you trying to check your balance or transfer money?
There you go. As you can see now, that's what we needed to do. We have created our bot. We have created, the languages, and then use the voice, and also create intent. And then now, add different messages that, the bot will understand. So this is the first project that we needed to build in terms of we have a couple projects coming up. Okay. Now, congratulations, you have just built your first Amazon Lex chatbot, and you have learned, how to create a Lex bot. You have learned how to configure permission and understand the IAM permission and understand what is the intent. And then also you have learned how to add simple, and you have learned also how to test the conversation and also customize the fallback responses. Okay. So now we know how to do those. And in the next episode, we will teach the bot how to understand real banking action like checking balance and transferring money. And, if you enjoyed this tutorial, like the video, subscribe to Fall into Tech, and also follow along as we build this AI-powered bank assistant. See you in the next project. But before we leave, make sure to clean up your resource because you don't want to get charged. Okay? So now to clean up your resource is very simple. What you want to do, you want to go ahead, click on bot here. And then as you can see, you can select this bot and then come to action, click on action, and then you can go ahead and then delete. As you can see, yes, delete, and just give it a time. it should definitely delete your bot. So you want to make sure that you're not getting charged on anything. As you can see, we are done. Everything is clear. See you guys into the next project. Thank you.